But what could happen with the $7,500 federal tax credit? Give you, I guess, maybe both sides, maybe a good case and a bad case. And should you be buying a Tesla right now, or should you wait it out? Because will the $7,500 federal tax credit, the point of sale discount on an electric vehicle on a Tesla Model 3 or Model Y and some builds of a Model X, will it actually go away? So we're going to take a look at that plus a variety of topics. But before we do that, let's roll that intro really quick. Let's take a look at it. And inventory actually is selling pretty quickly now, especially for the Model Y. So maybe people are already starting to get ahead of this and they feel like the $7,500 federal tax credit will be going away by the, well, it's going to take a few months, if anything, because when Trump gets into office on January, whatever the inauguration date, he can't just write it off and do an executive order right away. It's going to take some time. But either way, we asked you all, like, what do you think? Do you think Tesla is going to kill the $7,500 federal tax credit? And 53% in this early poll that we've done said yes, he actually will. And so taking a look at some of the news articles out there, a lot of people are saying like, hey, maybe it is the best time to buy an electric vehicle just so you can lock in that $7,500, especially if you qualify for a Tesla Model 3 or Model Y and can get that $7,500 federal tax credit. And so it is an interesting time for sure. And if inventory starts to keep getting worse and worse in terms of actually selling, then maybe Tesla will not incentivize these vehicles even more than they currently are, and that this like $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000 level. And maybe the deals that we're finding, just like the one on the spreadsheet down below in the description, then maybe that is you, but you should run and try and get a Tesla vehicle from those deals. And of course, don't forget to use a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, so you can get an extra $500 off. But it certainly might be an interesting time if we take a look at some of the stuff Trump has said before in the past. He's not necessarily 100%, if we're paraphrasing from it, he's not 100% on board with electric vehicles. He doesn't want to force people to buy an electric vehicle. He likes gas cars as well. And he was still undecided on whether he was going to take away the $7,500 federal tax credit. And so it's kind of like in between the both of them. And of course, now that Elon and Trump have an interesting relationship between the two of them, maybe even some will say they are BFFs, maybe he won't take it away. But Tesla and Elon stands for sure. And really, if they do take the $7,500 federal tax credit away, I don't feel like Tesla is going to be too hurt in that. They've been working on their costs of goods and production costs for a while now. And so I feel like they could still stomach and sell those vehicles at a lower price. And so if the $7,500 goes away, maybe Tesla is just forced to just lower their prices $7,500 as well to try and sell those vehicles out there. And so it is an interesting time for sure. But if you want to lock it in, maybe this is setting it up for a very, very crazy price reduction in the next year. And the only manufacturers, or the manufacturers that will get hurt with this, is everyone that hasn't built a factory yet in the US, because there's big brands out there making a lot of investments to build these factories to get that $7,500 federal tax rate. And that's a good thing, right? We're bringing manufacturing to the US, and so that EV tax credit is doing what it is intended, bringing that production, the battery production, and the manufacturing of these vehicles into the US, giving US jobs. And so maybe Trump won't actually take away the $7,500, because if you look at it in that type of aspect, it's doing a good thing for the US job market and bringing all that manufacturing here instead of relying on other countries to do that. So if anything, maybe the electric vehicle tax credit gets even more stricter than it is. It's been kind of loose right now. There's certainly loopholes like leasing it, you can get the $7,500. Maybe it gets restricted to some of that, and even some of the production of the manufacturing, because the $7,500 federal tax credit, if you didn't know, it's only $7,500 if the vehicle and the battery and everything checks off to the IRA and it's produced and everything here. But you can see like Rivian vehicles, they only get like $3,750 because they don't achieve some of the different things or make it qualify for that actual full $7,500. And every single year, this is supposed to get stricter and stricter. I think like 10% stricter. And so more of these vehicles could not qualify, or some of these vehicles could qualify. But at the end of the day, of course, when you put a $7,500 federal tax credit, it goes straight into the pockets of the manufacturers because they've invested into that. And so if they take it away, then that might mean that some of these vehicles might have to get cheaper than their gas gas competitors or gas vehicles that are similar to it, because then people won't want to pay that much more, especially because it's not very easy if you don't have a home to installing a charger and things like that. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you're thinking. Do you think that the $7,500 federal tax rate is going away? I kind of am in the middle on this, and if it does go away, I feel like it's not going to be that bad of a thing, because Tesla and all these electric vehicle manufacturers will just have to make the prices competitive, which is just going to mean better prices for all of us. So certainly if you're someone in the camp where you qualify for the tax credit now due to incomes and you don't feel like it's going to qualify next, or you don't going to qualify next year, maybe you rush and go to get it. Like some of these vehicles where you can get a pretty good deal, you're getting like the $3,000 to $4,000 off, plus the $7,500 federal tax credit, plus like the Tesla referral code discount, just like the one down below in the description.